Our film today begins with Detective Dane in the investigation office because of the death of one of the Public Funds Task Force members whose name is Jackie. He's very upset because they still don't know why she was killed this way. We go back to see Jackie, the policewoman we talked about, driving her car and talking with someone on the phone, trying to reassure her. She's afraid someone might be listening to the call or spying on them because of the information she knows about money laundering for the gang's benefit. As soon as she gets out of her car, she finds two masked men shooting at her with pistols, trying to kill her. She shoots back at them and tries to send an important message before she dies to someone she trusts a lot so he can complete the investigation in her place. In the end, they reach her and kill her. We go back to the office of the boss Tom and Dane, who's investigating the case. Tom tells him there's a problem. The name is collapsing from corruption. At the same time, the investigation into Jackie's murder is being conducted with the squad that Dane is responsible for, which Jackie was a member of. They investigate with Brian, and the one investigating with him was his brother, an agent from the Federal Greetings Bureau. He provokes him with words about Jackie and about Brian's romantic relationship with her. This really angers Brian. He hits him and everyone intervenes to separate them. Then Dane goes to Brian in the bathroom after the fight to check on him. They talk with each other about Jackie's conversation. Dane says he hates the place and the whole job, that he wants to expose the corruption himself, and asks for Brian's help. Brian leaves him and goes out to sit with the rest of the squad. They're very close friends and talk about the gang and the drug location, trying to know exactly what's happening. At the same time, a message comes on the phone to Dane, the group leader, with the location of the warehouse with the money in Miami, specifically in Hialeah, to seize it. Dane goes to them to inform them of the mission. He tells them there's a report from someone in that area, and they must move immediately. We find out they all have financial circumstances that aren't the best. He also tells them they need a dog. They ask how much money. He tells each one of them a different number for a mysterious reason we don't know. He also tells them they're the ones who'll go, because the police in that area aren't organized, and also he can't trust them. When they arrive at the location, each one with their car and with the dog, they knock on the house. A girl named Daisy comes out and asks them what's happening. They tell her they're from Miami police, and they got a report there are drugs here. They're lying to her to get in. They enter the house and search it. Daisy tells them there are no drugs here. They tell her they didn't come for the drugs. They came to search for money. The dog goes upstairs and helps them search for the money. It stops in front of an opening in the house ceiling. Immediately they open it. It has a ladder. They go up and find the room empty and very clean, unlike the house. They ask her, and she says she doesn't know anything about what's happening. She's here in her grandmother's house. They investigate with her. She tells them it's her grandmother's house, and she's been here for 2 months. They ask her, "Are you hiding something before we break the wall of the room upstairs?" She tells them she doesn't know anything. They start breaking into the room and discover the money is in the room's wall. They take out a box with $1.5 million. There are about 14 boxes like this, meaning more than $20 million. As soon as they find this much money, Lieutenant Dane collects all their phones and any wireless devices because there's no trust between them. There's corruption in the police, and he feels there's an informant among them. Brian talks with Lieutenant Dane about moving the money. Dane tells him it's not possible because if $1 is missing from this money during its transfer, Internal Affairs will investigate us. I won't break the laws for anyone. We must count the money here. Brian suggests to him, why don't they tell their major? Dane refuses and says he doesn't trust anyone. There's very big corruption in the system, and he won't take risks. Brian tells the lieutenant that Jackie, who died murdered, had told him before about a lot of money with problems that must be seized. It looks like this is the money she meant. Daisy suggests to them they take part of the money and leave before big problems happen. At the same time, there's a police car from the patrol cars passing by. Dane and Brian go out and see who it is. They're uncomfortable with the two who are in the police car, but they tell them they're here from the Public Funds Task Force, and they must leave them to complete their investigation. So they leave them and go. Brian knows one of those present and tells Dane he was in a bad squad and wasn't good. If they knew about the money in the house, we'd be dead by now. They know they'll be subjected to a very severe attack. Dane tells him, let's prepare the weapons. They wear bulletproof vests and get ready to count the money and stay safe until they finish their work. They prepare in case any attack happens. There's a car inside the house. They'll put it behind the door so no one attacks them, and they can take cover in it. Dane apologizes to Lulu for taking the phone from her, She wants to check on her daughters. Dane goes to talk with Daisy. She knows a few things. It turns out she was an informant in Miami. Very secret information about her gets deleted. Brian tells her, "You definitely knew about what's in the house and reported it to take part of the money." They keep making hints that Daisy is involved. While they're investigating with her, the phone rings. Daisy tells them don't answer. Brian appears upset and worried about Dane's behavior. Brian answers and finds a threat. Someone telling him he has 30 minutes to leave the house and take the money that came to you in the report. Leave the rest and go. There's no need for anyone to die over $150,000. Daisy asks them to execute their requests or everyone will come and die. Brian goes and takes the lieutenant and talks with him alone in the room. He asks him why he told him they're $300,000, but the caller said only $150,000. He gets angry at him and asks him for the report message to know from it the real number that came in the report. Dane evades and doesn't show him anything. Dane is hiding a lot of information from Brian, his friend. Brian leaves him and goes out. He remembers Dane and Jackie, who was killed. He opens the message that came to him on the phone with the operation that will be from unknown and doesn't have the amount in it. The address is the gang's warehouse. It looks like this was the message Jackie sent before she died. After that, we see them sitting counting the money. The subject starts occupying them to take this money. It shines in their eyes. They wish they could take from it even one bundle. It would change their lives forever. They have a lot of debts. We go to Brian, who calls Maddie, their colleague, and asks him for help. He tells him they're seizing a very large amount and that Dane didn't report to the leadership. They ask Brian about Dane and if he knows something about him that he doesn't know. They tell him he's very reckless this period and wants to solve Jackie's case by any means. He goes back, filling Brian's head that Dane took the promotion from him, that he might be the one who killed Jackie, who was Brian's girlfriend, and they had a relationship. Dane is now broke and wants money. Also, he lost his son after he died of cancer and is psychologically recovering after his death. Can't trust him. Brian suggests to him to report his brother, who is investigating with them. But Maddie gets nervous and asks him not to report. "I'll come to you myself." He hangs up. Dane goes to them while they're counting the money. He tells them he wants money too. Whoever wants money should take it. Daisy hears what's happening and understands the lieutenant intends to take the money and won't hand it over to the police. At the same time, Mike notices something very strange. The lights in the area turn on at the same time, as if someone's controlling them. He asks Brian, "Where are the people and cars?" They notice something very strange. Light signals coming out in the house in front of them. Brian worries and asks Mike to go back and inform the lieutenant. He'll go to this house to see what's happening. A message appears on Mike's phone that's not understood. We also find out Mike still has a phone with him. The lieutenant talks with the leadership in front of Daisy on the phone and says the amount they'll seize is only $150,000 and won't need special operations. Daisy hears his words and gets very confused, doesn't know what to do. Mike enters on her and she tells him she heard them and they're planning to steal the money. She wanted him to report. Dane enters on them and tells him, "What are you doing here?" He tells him Brian asked him to go see the house that's lighting up. The lieutenant asks Mike to come with him to go to Brian. While they're collecting the money, the phone rings. The gang informs them they'll be killed in 10 minutes if they don't leave the house. Lieutenant Dane asks Mike, "What were you talking to Daisy about?" He dodges and lies. He surprises him and tells him, "Are you an informant?" At that time, Mike gets a bit nervous and denies. The lieutenant asks him to go back again to count the money with them. Mike takes out his phone and reports to someone they're going to steal the money and they must attack. Indeed, it turns out he's an informant to other people. Mike goes back to the house and reassures Daisy and tells her he called the police to come. Mike's shape. He's exposed to Dane and the rest of the group. The lieutenant tries to finish the money matter before the gang comes. Mike asks the lieutenant about Brian. Did he find him or not? He wants to talk to him on the radio. Dane prevents him. Suddenly the gang starts shooting at them. Detective Lulu gets hit. Dane and Mike quickly go out to chase them. They leave one of them, and the rest manage to escape quickly. Suddenly, two from the gang that was talking to them appear. Dane talks with their leader on video. They say this is a game like chess, and they're here. They're the ones who benefited and managed to take the money. They don't want it. This is because of Detective Jackie's death. This will make them create problems if they kill more policemen. The $20 million is considered compensation for Jackie's murder. Mike asks what happened. They tell him it's not the gang that shot at us. It's other people. They go back again to the house with the money. Dane tells them the gang doesn't want the money at all. As soon as they know this, they get greedier for the money. They're finished, they want it. The detective suggests to him, let's hand over the amount in the report, and the rest, they take it. Brian tells them the lieutenant didn't report anyone from the leadership. He's lying. He brought us here to steal the money basically from the beginning. He was close to Jackie Moore and knew where the money was. He suspects Dane is part of the corrupt police. They kept hitting in words with each other. He continues and says the gang leader said Jackie was killed by people in her team. Mike shows worry on his face. Brian accuses the lieutenant of killing Jackie. A very strong fight happens between them. They hit each other. The fight ends. We go to Mike, who quickly enters the bathroom to look for his phone. But he's surprised the phone he was hiding to report the gang. He finds it fell from him. He goes to Daisy to take her phone, but he's surprised her phone also isn't with her. It's with the lieutenant. Brian hurries their colleague Maddie, who he asked for help, and tells him to come quickly with the armored vehicle. They finish counting the money and put it in bulletproof bags, each bag about 35 kilos. The lieutenant writes numbers on paper. Detective Lulu memorizes a part, and also Noma memorizes a part. The phone rings again, but he doesn't let anyone answer. They ask him, how will we leave? Because all the cars were destroyed. Suddenly the whole place catches fire. They take out the money quickly. Maddie arrives with the armored vehicle. The lieutenant is surprised Brian knew Maddie and reported him. They put all the money in the armored vehicle. Brian, Dane, and Mike ride. Lulu and Noma stay in front of the house. They leave them and escape. They talk in the armored vehicle. From the talk, the lieutenant understands Mike is an informant to other people. Mike tells them the lieutenant wanted to steal the money. Him, Detective Lulu, Noma, and Daisy also heard them. The lieutenant starts explaining to them and says this is a plan he made to be heard by whoever he wants to reach. He knew she'd tell him what's happening. They discover Mike is involved because he's the only one who sought to take the money and reported other people to help him. The lieutenant and Brian tell him they agreed to reveal the truth and see who was the reason for killing Jackie. It becomes clear Jackie, before being killed, sent a message to Lieutenant Dane. The lieutenant thought carefully about a plan and made it an official mission they're assigned. The lieutenant agrees he'll make a plan. He'll steal the money to know who will report and who's the traitor. Surely he's the one who killed Jackie. After that, they suspect Maddie too. How did he come to them with one vehicle without any soldiers or even assistants? They suspect he's also the one who sent people to shoot at them in the house. They ask Mike and give him a chance to say who else wants the money. Mike asks for the phone he was reporting from to the gang. Brian found this phone. Mike takes the phone and calls the last number he talked to. Maddie's number comes up. Maddie shoots Mike for exposing him. A gun exchange happens between them. The armored vehicle driver dies. He's from the corrupt police members following Maddie. Another one comes from the car that was walking behind them and drives the armored vehicle. They continue. Maddie is threatening them with the weapon and offers them to take the money. Brian asks who killed Jackie. It turns out the two who killed her are Mike and Maddie. Brian's phone rings. He opens it. It's his brother, who was investigating with him at first from the Federal Investigations Bureau. Brian reported him as soon as he got in the armored vehicle. Suddenly, he's waiting for them with forces. Mike shoots and takes a money bag and escapes. Maddie also gets in the armored vehicle and takes it with the rest of the money. Brian takes his brother's car and chases Maddie. At the same time, the lieutenant catches up with Mike. The armored vehicle flips from the bridge. Brian goes to Maddie and shows him the bag that didn't have money in it. They know this was all acting on them. Dane shows the bag to Mike too and arrests him. Detective Lulu, Noma, and Daisy appear in the car with the money. This is the plan. They put paper and phone book in the bags. They hand over the money, and the number the lieutenant showed to Lulu and Noma matches the money exactly. Daisy takes a reward. They say goodbye to each other. Daisy goes to the lieutenant and greets him and thanks him very much. The film ends with Dane and Brian sitting by the sea after a very tiring day. And here the video ends. If you liked it, please make us a like and subscribe to the channel so you get everything new. That's it. See you in the next video. Peace.